I just played a fun game on chess.com with a 2400. I think it was 2388. That's pretty decent rating. I don't know. It's weird. Don't you think the chess.com ratings are weird? I see some cats have 2500 in blitz, but like 1800 bullet, and then their puzzle ratings like 1400. I played some fishy people this morning. I mean, so one guy was very suspicious because his ratings were so lopsided that his rapid was high and his blitz was pretty high, but then his other ratings were terrible. And I looked at a telltale sign is you look at their puzzle scores, and if they have many mistakes in their puzzles, then you know that something's wrong because they're doing fish puzzles and they're getting half of them wrong, but they have 2400 in blitz, so it's weird. This guy's kosher. This guy's okay, but there's a couple of guys that played in the morning were sus. Okay, he I've been playing the Alekhine 1,000 years. I like the Alekhine. Not the greatest opening in the world, but it's good for blitz. Um, if you want to see how to shellac the Alekhine, you can find the Nigel Short Lev Albert match from, I guess it was in the 90s. Uh, Knight b6. Knight d2 is already weird. This is already maybe giving up some edge. You should put the knight on c3 and bishop on e3. Um, I don't know why you're linking these knights. The knight on d2 just doesn't have as much influence over the center. It's just sort of reinforcing your other knight. Um, you can't take it with the knight on e5 because d4 is hanging and the rook's loose in the corner. And so this is very fluid. Bishop on b2 is sort of staring at air. But you need to find a plan. So a5 is good. Try to break down the b3 point. If he doesn't play, like even if you get like a4 and a3, and then you plunk a piece on b4, it's not a good position already. So this move is, I guess, sort of important so that you can play b4 if you push. This is the key rotation. I should have asked you. I keep forgetting this to ask, but always remember this rotation to c5, and then you have the invasion squares, right? Also, it's defended twice, but he might have to just be careful not to move anything and lose his e-pawn. Um, okay, so I had this in a really important game, um, in the first Millionaire Chess to get into the playoffs, and they had a blitz portion for all the guys who were tied to get into the playoffs. And I played the Chinese kid who ended up winning the Rapid $40,000, but I beat him this game in a position just like this one. Knight c5, and you see that black has better coordination. It's not clear what white is trying to do. It's very passive, right? So this one, I don't know. I don't. He's just trying to cover the d3 square, and he wants to trade some. But you don't trade with them when their position is cramped like this. You keep the pieces on the board. He transferred this way. This is another not so great move. He has to take back on d1 with the bishop, because if he takes with the rook, bishop c2 is crushing. Not only that, knight b3 is just hanging. But I can't go bishop c2. Knight's on e. I just take on b3. Sorry, it's early. Um, yeah, b3 is just hanging. So he's got to take with the bishop. But now I have everything. This is another exclam. Put the make pass pawn here, and now a3 is hanging, so he has to go back and defend that. And now a couple of exclams here. A couple of exclams. You have two powerful moves, and they're both hidden. Okay. The first powerful shot is knight takes b4. And then when you go rook a2, he has to go bishop c3 and you go b2. And you know, the b1 square, he has to give the bishop back. And then the rook's on b2 and the b pawn is hanging. And then he has to play b5. It's the only way. And then you get bishop c5. You have two bishops. His pawn cluster is weak. And better for black, like significantly better. Maybe +2 or -2, I should say. The other one is more hidden. It's the one I played. I just noticed the d2 square is where I want to be. I want to. If I get rook d2, then he's cooked, right? Because I chase the bishop away to go rook a2, and I'm threatening b2, and his a3 pawn is hanging. So g5. Just try to get rid of that knight, and then expand. No problems. You're opening up the king. He has no threats at all. Two bishops. This is a good move. Try to get rid of the one weakness. We chase him away. And for some reason, I didn't go knight d4. But knight d4 is just over. Because, I mean, I'm threatening knight e2. The only move is king h1. But then king g7, powerful. King g7, and then rook takes h2 is coming. Rook take h2, rook h8, king g3, knight e2 checkmate. Right? I didn't go knight d4 because I saw knight takes e5 is good, because if he takes on e3, it's knight takes c4, 2-for-1 special. And then he's got to like move the bishop away. And then what is he going to, you know, maybe rook d1 is coming. He's got to stay on the a3 pawn because the knight's on c4, and rook a3 is always going to be a problem. So I went for knight e5, but knight d4 is a much better move. Knight here, and now I went for this move. Another strong move, but rook d1 is better. Rook d1 is better because if he takes on b3, it's knight c4, threatening knight d2 fork. And he has to play bishop c3 to cover knight d2 fork. And then rook takes a3 happens. It's just lost. Right? He's just down a pawn. So rook d1's a little stronger. But I saw this liquidation, and I thought, you know, I got passed pawn on b3. So this must be winning. And here, I came up with another kind of ridiculous. It's winning, but it's not the strongest. The strongest is obviously bishop f8. Bishop f8 to chase then bishop g7 and chase him off the diagonal. And then you just go b2 and we win. And then bishop f8, he has to play knight takes g4. There's no other way. It's free. I take it, but he does to clear the square rook d3 so that now at least he eliminates the b3 pawn. It's lost. It's lost anyway. But bishop f8. But I came up with kind of crazy idea. I understand that I just want to clear the bishop from b2, right? And if I do that, I'm gonna win a piece no matter what. So I did it the old-fashioned way. That his back rank is loose, and so rook here, and now he has to defend, and I take this one, and now I'm gonna get my piece back and hit this dude and come up, make him lose some space and time, and I'll get the piece anyway. A little more convoluted, but achieve the goal. Trade a few things, and that's that. I think that's a pretty clean game. I like this game. Definitely not the correct way to play against the other kind. All right. I suppose the funkier way, right? With knight d4 is just lights out. I guess this g5 was pretty good move though. Yeah, not this one. This one. This is the one. In theory, you also might not want to open when you go knight e5. You do give him a bishop. Like in theory, his bishop becomes activated. With the pawn there, it's just a bad bishop. So it's like solves three things at the same time: defend the pawn immediately, threaten to win the game in one move, keep the bishop locked down, and he has to find now only this move, and then then you're getting checkmate threats, which is very beautiful. I don't even know if there's anything to be done. I guess okay. Oh wow, the rooks are doubling now, and there's no way to defend the knight with the other knight because the pawns are. Yeah, this one's just over. All right, I wouldn't have gotten my simple ending. Simple treasures. Okay, people, keep it short today. Have a good one.